Hey guys, so here's the window sticker on this specific truck. This truck has a sticker price of $59,900, has a 5-star crash rating on it. Some of the neat things to look at on this specific truck is that it has that auto start stop feature I was telling you about. FX4 package, it has the integrated trailer brake control, max trailer towing package on it, 36-gallon extended fuel tank range. That's pretty cool to have 36-gallon tank on a half-ton truck. So now that we're inside this truck, I wanted to give you a quick tour of the interior and the instrument panel. So this is actually kind of the infotainment center that you're going to see on the dash cluster. This gives you a lot of really good information, plus you can go through all sorts of different menus. And that screen takes up pretty much the entire center portion between the two gauge clusters. This, of course, is the 2017 Ford F150 Lariat package in platinum white tri-coat. This does have the full LED front lighting system on it. So LED plus an LED light strip that goes around and an LED turn signal. The tail lights on this truck are also full LED. You have a full LED strip that comes around here, as well as LED brake light and LED turn signal. You can see that it even has the blind spot radar detection, or the BLIS system. One thing that'll be a little different between the Lariat model and the Platinum model is that you get these running boards on the Lariat model, whereas the Platinum model is going to have the auto folding running boards. Not only does this truck have a slow opening tailgate, but you can actually control it from the remote. Though this truck doesn't have a spray-in bed liner, it does have the LED bed lights, as well as all of your connections and clamps. So these are designed to use for all sorts of bed configurations, whether you're going to have, cross members going across, tie downs, or even the ramp system that can connect to those for storage. This truck does come equipped with the man step. You press the button here, pull it out, drop it down, release that, flip it up. So something that I had heard is that Ford actually uses some of the widest leaf springs in the industry. So I'm going to zero out my caliper here and open this up. That is right at 3 inches. I actually have a Silverado High Country right here that I'm going to compare it to. So the Silverado High Country is right at 2.5 inches. So the Ford's 3-inch wide leaf spring and the Silverado High Country is 2.5 inches wide. Here's the rear frame section, again fully E-coated frame, fully boxed frame. Ford places their shocks on the outside of the leaf spring. Supposedly it gives it a little bit better stability when going down the road. So the frame thickness on the Ford is 0.126 inches thick. Ford actually manufactures their own rear axle on the F150. This is a 355 geared rear axle, electronic locking rear differential. Here's the front suspension of this truck, fully independent. Here's the Ecoboost engine. Very quiet engine. Has a massive battery, and it's also an AGM battery. This truck does have the max trailering package. I do wish that they would put tow mirrors standard on half-ton trucks. I think it just makes sense. Even if it's not a truck that's specifically used for towing, it gives you much more visibility, and it really doesn't take up a heck of a lot more room. If they could add a tow mirror to the bottom of this on all of the manufacturers, I think it would be a great service to customers. This does have the smart key access, so it's essentially this little key fob. Again, I can throw it in my pocket. I simply press the button to lock the truck. The truck's now locked. Then reach in, grab the handle, and it unlocks. Here's the interior of this Lariat package truck. As you can see, it has the wood grain interior here. I still don't really care for the placement of this configuration right here. I wish it could have been up a little higher or even in a little easier to reach spot. When the door's closed and you're inside, there's not a lot of room to access these controls here. Interior has really nice fit and finish to it. It has soft touch material on the dash here. This is all soft touch material. This does have the trailer backup system. This is actually really cool. When you put the truck in reverse and you're hauling a trailer, you can actually use this to control the direction the truck is going in reverse to help you back the trailer in. But this is actually really cool technology because it gives you the ability to far easier back up a trailer, especially a boat or anything like that if you're just not used to doing it or you don't have the experience. So this truck is equipped with the 8-inch nav screen. This is Sync 3. It's capacitive, so it no longer uses that old style where you had to really press the screen hard to move around. It's all capacitive touch screen, so it just uses the electricity that your body emits to move the screen around. Has downhill assist, traction control. Now this isn't something I noticed earlier, but this is great. So I told you the truck has auto start, auto stop, which means when you pull up to a red light and you hit the brake, after a couple seconds the engine shuts off. When you hit the gas again or remove your foot off the brake, the engine starts up again. It does it seamlessly, and in most cases you're not really going to notice other than the fact that there's a little vibration when the truck starts up. But most vehicles, you have to go through a whole computer instrument system to get to the screen to turn that off. On the Ford, it's this button right here. If I turn this button off, you'll actually see that the auto start has been deactivated. If I press it again, auto start is now activated. And that's really nice because that gives you just a really quick ability to turn that feature on and off at a whim. You don't have to go through a bunch of menus to get to it. This truck, of course, does have backup camera, so hit the brake, put it in reverse, you'll see the full backup camera. Has parking sensors on the truck as well. This truck does not have front parking sensors, but it does have rear parking sensors as well as a backup camera. Now, if you have a family, this is really where an F150 can come in handy. The rear legroom on this truck is huge. I mean, it is significant. Where most trucks fall into that 12-inch range, this truck actually has 16 inches of rear legroom. And this is at my normal seated position. So all the comparisons I've done have been at my normal seated position. In my F250, the back seat starts right here. On this truck, it starts right here. That is a significant increase in legroom. And this is the same interior cab space that you're going to get in the new Super Duty as well. So just from a passenger perspective, having people in the back, you've given them a lot more room with these trucks now. Another good area that Ford really shines is the fact that they actually provide you some features in the back that your passengers could use. Rear air conditioning vents. It actually has power outlets for 2 USB ports as well as a 110 volt 400 watt max power outlet back here. That's enough to power just about anything you'd want to plug in. Heated seats and a power supply for 12 volt accessory. An area that I've criticized GM is in their cup holders, how they stick up real high and it creates this awkward area to rest your arm if you're a back passenger. Ford has kind of addressed that by putting the cup holders up front. So when you don't have drinks and you don't have cups, you don't even need this down. You can push that back in, but you still have a very functional, usable armrest. The rear headrests are also very nice on Ford's trucks. They're very tall, they give you good bolstering, they're soft, and they're very functional, versus some trucks that only give you a really, really short headrest down here. The center seat doesn't give you quite as high of a headrest as, say, a Ram. The Ram also gives you a pretty tall headrest here in the center, but for your 2 back passengers, which are typically here, this gives you a lot of room for your passengers, their legs, as well as their head. Here's the center console area. This is actually pretty nice. They put this little tray and it moves side to side. Typically the tray is much larger and you have to pull the whole tray out to get anything out of this pocket that's down here. But on this particular truck, it gives you much more access to this other section here, whereas you might store much larger objects. It's actually really deep. And here's all your AC controls up front, as well as media controls. 4-wheel drive. If you pull it out, it locks the rear differential. And your push button start. One interesting difference between the half-ton trucks and the Super Duties is this area up here on a Super Duty is another pocket. On this truck, it's just kind of this empty spot that has this rubber grip right here if you want to put a cell phone or a pen or some other items that you might want to put here. And then, of course, you have your glove box below it. The truck does come equipped with the panoramic sunroof. This sunroof is simply massive. And there's separate buttons up here to control the different aspects of the panoramic sunroof, from opening just the sunroof to opening the whole cover front and back. It does have the power opening rear window. And they give you 2 extra USB ports up front here, as well as a 12-volt connector and your 110 400-watt outlet here. This truck does come equipped with power folding mirrors. So if you're in a tighter parking spot, you can fold the mirrors in and out, as well as LED lights underneath the mirrors that can illuminate the sides of your truck. I do like that they still give you the number keypad on the side. Even though they give you the smart access, you can put your own number in here on the side, which gives you the ability to come out to your truck without your keys, unlock the truck, get something out of it, and then lock the truck again. And in case you're a Ford owner and you didn't know this, if you press both of these last buttons at the same time, it locks the truck for you. So as most people know, the F150 is constructed from aluminum. And I had a question that I had thrown out in one of my prior videos on how the truck would actually respond to a crease tear, or essentially where some type of a hard, sharp object might hit this back panel. And in some cases on metal, simply dent it, but on aluminum, would it tear through it? And I actually got a response from a few people saying that they've had that type of damage done to their trucks, and it dented it and creased it, very similar to steel. So that's kind of refreshing to know that if you hit something that's relatively sharp on one of these panels, it's just not going to puncture through it and tear. That was one of my biggest concerns when dealing with aluminum on these new trucks. This truck has 20-inch wheels, and these wheels look gorgeous. Honestly, if you get this truck, I don't know why you would want to upgrade from these wheels. Chrome wheels look beautiful. It might be hard to see in the daylight, but I currently have the headlights on this particular truck on. Again, they are LED. This light strip right here illuminates as well. Most of you have probably seen them already. This is an upgrade to this specific truck, so if you are going to get an F-150, the LED lighting package is an upgrade. And here's the rear tail light. One of the instant ways to tell if there's LED lights in is how it flashes on and off. If you notice, LED lights are instant on, instant off, versus that fade on, fade off like you get with older technology or incandescent bulbs. And then of course you see this light strip that goes all the way around. You know, one area that I am a little critical on Ford is at night, from the very back of the truck looking like this, all you see is a little bit of light here and a little bit of light here. It would have been nice if they continued this light all the way around, just to give you a little bit more rear visibility at night. The step-up height on this truck, if you did not have the step sides, would be right at 24 inches. With the step sides is right at 15 inches, and then you step up the full height. So it roughly cuts that distance in half. The truck bed rail height is right at 56 and 1/4 inches tall from the ground. The tailgate to the ground is right at 36 inches. And from the very back of the truck, the bed height to the bed rail is right at 57 inches from the ground. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this review. I hope it's been very informative for you. You know, I try to put a lot of effort and work into these reviews. I'd appreciate it if you like and subscribe to my page, and even if you post it on your Facebook page and share it with others. The only way I can do these reviews is if people like to watch them, and I really enjoy doing this stuff. One final note, one of the reasons why I don't do a fuel economy report on these trucks is you really can't corroborate fuel economy because it's different in every area you go. Right now we have about a 15-mile wind going on, so it's going to be different, of course, based on the wind resistance. And most of the times the EPA fuel economy reports that they publish are done on a dynamometer in a closed, tested environment. So I don't even know how accurate those are. But elevation, wind, temperature, all of that play in quite well to fuel economy numbers, as well as payload, and even if you're going up or down grade, all of those things matter. And I just don't have the ability to test fuel economy in a way that's going to be accurate for everybody and everywhere they may take their truck or where they live. So I want to thank AutoNation Ford in Corpus Christi, Texas. This is actually the dealership where I purchased my 2016 F450. It's a great place to buy a vehicle. They have really good pricing. And if you are in the market for a Ford vehicle, I highly recommend you give them a call if you're in the area or if you're willing to make a short trip. Anyways, if you like my channel, please like and subscribe. Thank you.